Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am back with another scrap a sketch, 4 seasons in 1 month, and it's day 2 of winter, and this is the sketch from Lisa Sikorsky, and she has given us a multi-picture. A lot of hers are 1 and 2 picture, so I was really excited to have this 4-picture sketch. So I'm just zooming in on her name and the fact that it's for today, the 23rd of April. And then we have one more winter one tomorrow and a couple next week that are bonus or any season. So there's a couple of clusters and some layering. So I'm going pretty simple and using these 2 sheets of paper. The glitter paper is from a Recollections Hot by Paper Pad, like Holiday Glitz or something, and then the other is just a solid white cardstock. And I have these 4 pictures of my kids playing in the snow. I think this is either 2019 or 2020. I've printed both years chronologically, and so it is for one of those. I'll have to hunt them down and figure it out. And I used my Big Shot to cut some things out, and I'm going to use these papers. However, because I'm not thinking straight, I trim my pictures down real good and, well, I fix it. So anyway, this is what I cut out to use. And yesterday I used the same die cuts for the snowflakes, but I'm using them in a different way today. And my plan is to not use snowflakes tomorrow for the last of the winter layouts, but we shall see what happens. But I did cut out some other things too, like little labels, and the circular things are actually flowers, but I cut them out on snowflake scraps, so I felt like that was good. And then yesterday I pulled out this embellishment box that has like snow and snowmen and winter things, and I didn't use a single thing in it, but today I do. So I wanted to make sure I tried to get something out of there. So this is just my little copy of the sketch so that I can watch videos while I am scrapbooking. So I have all these neat little things for my Big Shot and my papers, and I've got these 4 pictures and the sketch from Lisa. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing I did was gut this paper, not because I wanted to save it, but because you need a layer. And so instead of using 2 pieces, I used 1 and gut it. And I cut it at 10.5 all the way around. And then I cut my paper at like 9 and it still seems too big. So I set it over there and there's not a very big border. So I ended up cutting it down to 8.5, I believe, by 8.5. Nope, the big one is like 10.5. Yep, 10.5, and the smaller one is 8.5. So I get those there and like decide that I like it and set it aside, and I am going to attach it later, but I'm going to trim my pictures down first. And because it's glitter paper, I do attach it with double-sided tape as well as Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. Now my pictures are not all the same size. I cut them down width-wise, especially as far as I can, or to the best of my ability. So there are at least 2 pictures where my kids are on either side of the 4x4 picture, and so I couldn't do it. Now you see how that picture is not going to fit, and there's going to be the snowflakes are like hanging off, so it doesn't completely border that picture, but that's one of the ones that's going to get tucked in and you can't tell at all. So, and then there's one other one that I do that same kind of thing, but you don't see where the little mistake is. I'm looking now that I say that to make sure. So I get all of those matted, and I use scraps to mat all 4 pictures. I also use scraps for everything that I did on the Big Shot. So that is my goal for 2022, is to use at least 1 scrap on every layout. And everything I used on this was a scrap except for the 2 main papers. So that makes me happy. And that paper right there is from a Frozen paper, like from the Disney movie Frozen. I fussy cut the people that were in the bottom corner, and so I just had all those icicles. So I am going to get my paper attached now so that I can get the pictures straightened out. And so I don't do that on camera. I cut all that out because I don't think y'all need to see that. So here I'm just trying to maneuver to where, one, that picture is covered on the left side so that where it's the paper is not full is not showing. And in this sketch, it's like the first one is up, the second one is down a little, and then up and then down a little. So mine is kind of like that. It's more up, down, down, up when I get done. Like right there, it's up, down, down. But when I get done, it's not. But I love the way that it looks. And honestly, the simplicity of this layout makes me happy. I've done a lot of wild and crazy, full of mixed media, layers upon layers, lots of pattern paper, which I've never been a pattern paper kind of person. I was always a very themey scrapbooker, and I have, I won't say grown up, because there's nothing wrong with themey scrapbooking at all, because I still do quite a bit of it. I mean, obviously this is kind of themey because I'm using snowflakes and snow pictures. So, but I have definitely changed a lot in the course of the last 18 months since I joined Scrapbooking the Day Away on Facebook and then followed its leader, Anne-Marie, over to scrapbookingwithanemarie.com, because it is just, the people that I have met there. And then since then with Dottie About Flair and Scrap a Sketch and Hey Little Magpie and all sorts of other fantastic groups have just really opened my eyes to all the different fabulousness that comes with this craft. Mixed media and pattern paper, collections, kits, things like that. And I had not ever really done those kinds of things. So it's fun to learn new things and to experiment. So if you watched my bonus sketch from the 20th, I did some experimenting with some mixed media. It did not turn out the way I wanted it to, but I actually ended up loving the layout a lot. So, things happen. It's fine. So I do ink this tag because it's the exact same pattern as the little floral bit that is I'm using as in the sketch. There's circles, and I use these little floral pieces, and so I wanted to ink around this because I want it to have some definition. So I put that down, and that's covering the little boo-boo I have up there. And then in the sketch there's a heart, but my hearts are all the exact same pattern too. So I put a snowflake down, and I like the contrast of that color. It brings the paper on either end of the pictures, like the matted paper, back over to the middle. And then I just put that little heart down in the sketch. There's like some probably enamel dots or little polka dots. I just put that little baby heart that I cut out of my Big Shot. I don't end up using, let's see. Oh no, I guess I do end up using everything I cut on my Big Shot. Go me. Well, and then I take this bigger label and I ink around it as well. And it's going down on the bottom where the shiny blue meets up with the white. And then I tuck that little floral circular bit in the top left corner. And that gives it some definition from the label. And then I add a snowflake down there. And I also add the little heart. And let's see, what else am I going to do? I'm not kidding. I love how simplistic this layout is. I have 3 clusters of snowflakes, tags, and hearts. And that is really it. I don't do any mixed media, except I do bring out, spoiler alert, the stickles. Just for a simple little ... kind of thing. So nothing super fancy, except this paper is super blingy, and I love that. So I just put I almost said a star, a snowflake on top of the top. cluster, and then I build a third cluster, which is not in this sketch, but that's okay. I'm building a third cluster down here between the first and second picture on the left. And I'm just adding my extra snowflakes. And I had 2 left over, so I put them there, and I actually had 3. So the other one I just add up here at the top, and I just tuck it in a little underneath the circular floral thing. And I end up adding some, I think, an enamel dot. I'm looking right at this layout, you all. I don't, it's late. It is, let's see, 12 o'clock. So it's been a very long day. But I was lucky enough to end my day, other than with the scrapbooking part, with my 13-year-old making me dinner. So, all right, so now I am going through my ephemera and my winter bin, and I'm so excited because I pull out, I think this is probably EK Success, maybe. I don't know. I've taken it out of the packaging. It could be Jolie's. I don't know. But I pull one of these snowmen off. I pull some of the snowflakes, and I put the snowflakes like in the little baby clusters or tuck them in with the other clusters. They are not, there's a couple that are dark blue and they stand out, but the rest of them are like a light colored blue. And honestly, I love that because I don't need everything to be in your face. It's all, I mean, I didn't anticipate this being a monochrome layout, but other than the snowman with the little red scarf and glove, there is no other color other than blue and white in this layout. And I love it. So I put this Let It Snow here, and I had an extra snowflake that I had cut out previously and didn't use. So I just put it on there and added it to the cluster of other snow flakes. And then I tucked the snowman in, and I realized he is see-through enough to where you could see the picture behind it. And I didn't like that. So I pull him up, almost tore him, put him on some just white copy paper and trimmed around that. And then I put him right back underneath the snowflake. So he's just kind of hanging out, peeking there. And then I get these Park Lane enamel dots, and I just use this other shade of blue, and I put those on any of the snowflakes that have a hole, or that one snowflake next to the Let It Snow. I put one there too. And yesterday I used gemstones, so I wanted to use enamel dots today, so I had a little something different since I'm using the same snowflakes, although it's not the same paper. And then I pull out my blue stickles, and I put a dot in the middle of this one snowflake at the top, and then I just do the little cluster of 3 in 3 different places. And I love the way that that looks. I mean, not that this page needed any more shiny shimmery, but I love stickles. They're super easy to work with. I like that they add a little extra shine and shimmer. And I think that that's it. Yep, here comes the layout in slow-mo. The sketch. Here comes the sketch in slow motion. I hope that you all will go over to Facebook and join us in the Scrap a Sketch Facebook group. Lisa has been giving us sketches every weekend. We always get one every Friday, but in April we've had 3 every week plus a couple of bonuses. And it is a fantastic group. She is super encouraging and makes some fantastic sketches. So I will be back tomorrow, is Sunday, and I will be back with the next winter layout, as well as tomorrow is Scrap Lift Crafternoon, and I am super excited because tomorrow's going to be a special one. So I hope y'all will come back and see me, and I hope y'all have a fantastic evening. Happy scrapping!